This is Dan Dix here reporting for Press for Truth. Happy New Year. I hope you're enjoying the first week of the new year. I have a feeling some people in California are enjoying the first week of the new year as they have just legalized recreational cannabis. And joining me right now to talk about some of the latest news in regards to the movement for the end of prohibition is our good friend Chad Jackett of Liberty Farms and Grassroots Medicinal. Now, Chad, cannabis was just legalized for recreational purposes in the state of California. First of all, do you have any words of congratulatory words for the people in the state of California?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I don't know a lot about their whole the legislation that's come in California yet, so I still have to look into it. But I mean, it's a step, and they're moving forward, which is really great. Yeah, like I just hope it's not like we see here in Canada where they claim it's legalization and it's some sort of a monopolization of the industry in order to conglomerate the whole thing into the hands of just a few, you know. So.
Well, as I understand it, they've been doing medicinal cannabis for quite some time, and they're only now just getting into the rec side of things. So what are your thoughts on just the movement from medicinal into recreational? It seems to be gaining momentum all over the world.
I think it's silly, to be honest with you, because I don't really think there is any recreational cannabis. It's like, it's just like any other herb. You know, you're not using those herbs for recreational purposes. You're using them for medicinal purposes.
So it's medicinal whether you like it or not.
It's medicinal whether you like it or not. But this whole rec thing is just a title that's being cast upon the cannabis industry right now in order for the government to justify taxation on a medicinal product, right? So if it was just a medicinal product, they wouldn't be able to tax it because you don't tax the sick, and you don't tax, your medicinal herbs or, your fruits or vegetables and your food, essentially, if it's not a packaged type food,
And a controversial area for people in dealing with how to roll this out is often the age limits that they put on this, and what they've set in California was 21 years old. What are your thoughts on that particular age limit? I think it's the same as their drinking age.
I think that's also very ridiculous. In the United States, everybody knows that you can join up for the military at age 18, and you can go to a country that you are not familiar with, and you can put bullets into foreigners at age 18, and the government will condone this. And if they will condone that, which I don't condone, and they won't condone somebody being able to use their own mind to choose what they want to put into their body, like cannabis, I think it's just ridiculous. It just goes to show, really where the government stands on this whole type of all these things. They just want to control things, keep it out of your hands. Unless it's your life, then they want to control your life and tell you, well, take this gun and go kill people, and who cares if you die.
Well, speaking of governmental control, what are your thoughts on? I mean, we're here in Canada, and a lot of people are hearing all over the world that Canada is going to be legalizing cannabis very soon. They've been hearing that for a couple of years now, and now we got places like California blowing us by. I mean, what does that say about the state of Justin Trudeau and some of his promises?
Oh, he's just a lying sack of monkey stuff. But yeah, I've said that from the very beginning, and again, it's the state reinventing itself. And when people get sick of blue, they come out with red, and then they get sick of red and blue pops up, or maybe a little bit of orange or something. But all in all, the state apparatus continues on, and it doesn't really change much. So I don't know, man. It's a mess out there. Yeah. Really, it's a mess. Yeah.
Well, it does seem that it is coming. It will be here eventually, but in order for us to not get screwed over by the government and for all the mom and pops to get wiped out, what are some of the ways that Canadians can move legalization into the proper direction that it needs to go? We still got about maybe 6 months, maybe a year. Yeah. There's a lot of work to do before this happens. So where can people go to learn how to get involved?
Well, there's a lot of places you can go to learn how to get involved. First of all, you just have to, get up every day and say, I want to do something, and, put your feet in front of, one foot in front of the other, and go and do some stuff. But the Cannabis Growers of Canada is a great place for people to turn to. We all in the cannabis industry need to look as organized and as together as possible, right now, because if we're all scattered in our own directions, then, the government has their way with people that are all in their own directions, and they realize that they can manipulate people. But if we're all, having the same message come across, and, everybody, whenever they talk to the government, they're speaking about the Cannabis Growers of Canada, they're talking about how we want, a free and fair marketplace, one that suits the people that created the industry, and not just for the large multinational corporations, then I think when we all are on that same message, I think we're going to get a lot farther than if we were all scattered. So I think the Cannabis Growers of Canada is a great place to go. And again, in the Cannabis Growers of Canada, it's not about having every single person involved. It's about having those right people involved, the people that really have the gut for this, that really realize that it's not going to be an easy fight, but we are in this for the long haul, and the people that really want to see cannabis be in the hands of the people instead of the hands of the government and the corporations.
Exactly. I've never been one to say that it's a us versus them type of battle with the government, but in this particular instance, it really is.
When it comes to food, and when it comes to anything that makes you an independent individual, it's the people against those bureaucracies and those governments, and a lot of it is these corporations, but they're influencing the government, So they've become almost one and the same, they're almost the same entity now. So it really is. When you've got an entity that has so much power, and all they really want to do is try to get more power, I mean, it's dangerous for the average Joe, and the average Joe is going to have to recognize that and say, hey man, if I want to have some freedom in the future, if I want my kids to have some freedom in this country, or whatever country you're from, I'm going to have to stand up and say no to a lot of stuff, and try to steer things in the right direction.
Yep. Well, just like they're trying to get their ducks in a line to try to monopolize this industry, we got to get our ducks in a line as well, in a line with one another, and I agree, unity is key moving forward in this fight. So folks, check out the Cannabis Growers of Canada. Links are located in the description below. Chad Jackett, once again, thanks for talking to us.
Hey, thanks for having me again, Dan. Peace, everybody. Happy New Year.